Did you sometimes think about quitting your hobby or stop upgrading? Yes, I have thought multiple times about quitting the hobby and upgrading and also not upgrading. Okay. I have thought about it. Let me explain. In my early days, I was spending way too much time and money upgrading. It was starting to affect my personal life, my relationships, and at the same time I was gaining really very little satisfaction from my system. The more I upgraded, sometimes the more headaches I had, because I had other sets of issues with the system, because I didn't have the right cables, because I didn't have the right speakers or the right room, or it was too bright. There were many complications that occurred. I eventually realized I was spending more time troubleshooting than enjoying the system for what it was. Very few of you understand that with this hobby, upgrading can be unfortunately very detrimental to our own satisfaction. It can literally end your quest to improve your system. It can actually kill the desire to be in front of your system. In the past, I got there. I was taking breaks before I started my YouTube channel. I was going 100 miles an hour. But eventually I said, you know what? Um, I want to become a business of some sort on YouTube, and I want to help people. Once I understood that, it was easy for me to prioritize where I was headed. I now have decided that I cannot get frustrated when my system isn't delivering what I needed to deliver. I have to take things one step at a time. For instance, right now, instead of me being here listening to my system behind me, I'm spending time with you, but I'm prioritizing you all than doing what I should be doing, which is sitting in front of my system and trying to figure out how this Mola Mola DAC sounds, how this Krell integrated sounds, how that next speaker that you guys haven't seen sounds, which is still continues to be here. That new reference speaker has been here for 2 months. 2 months, folks. It's in the corner. It's been here since I talked to you guys about it. It hasn't moved. That's how busy I am, which is part of the business side of things. Okay. But I still have to continue to help you all along your journey. My recommendation is when you're getting tired of your system, when you're getting sick of it, when it's frustrating you, when it's causing anxiety, which has happened to me. First time I say this to you guys, I've had anxiety because of the struggles that I've had with my system. It's time to take a break. It is time to push the off button and push it for a while. Don't sell anything. Don't go crazy. Don't need to sell your system. Turn it off. Find TV shows on Netflix to watch. Find something else to distract you. Go to the gym. Go get under your car and start changing your oils to your cars. And I don't know, buy rims for your cars. Go race your car somewhere safely. Okay. It's time to take a break. Go hunting. It's time to step away from your system. That's your mind telling you, man, we've had enough of this. Is there anything else to life? Can we do something else? That's your indication that your mind wants a break from it. When you're having frustrations and anxiety with your system, please take a break. Step away from it. It's not going to go anywhere. And I promise you, when you come back after, let's say, a week or so or 10 days, you're going to be so happy you did, because you're going to be like, damn, I'm enjoying my system. I never realized how good it sounds. I thought it sounded like trash, but I realized, no, it doesn't. I just needed a break. What is my opinion on audio research? I've heard a few weeks ago, you heard it a few weeks ago together with Wilson Audio, Sasha Vies, and Wyatt Server and the DAC. And it sounded wonderful. That's a hell of a system, let me tell you. That is what, $400,000? That's not chump change. That's a hell of a system that you heard, okay? I'm surprised though that they utilize such an expensive DAC with a Wilson Audio Sasha V. I would expect that to be with more of a, I wouldn't call it affordable, but a DAC that's not so extreme, right? So expensive. Typically, systems that have a WideX DAC are systems that are just crazy, like from cables to amplification to loudspeakers that are in the six figures, right? Because the DAC itself is in the six figure range, excuse me. But I would be very curious to hear that system. As far as my opinion of audio research, audio research has been through a lot of financial hardship. It has changed hands multiple times. However, this continues to be one of the most iconic brands in the US. I am glad that Valerio from Acora Acoustics, president and CEO of Acora Acoustics, bought the brand. And he is planning to do great things with this brand. He is planning to keep everyone fully employed. There are many employees at the factory that have been there for a long time. And he reassured me that nothing will change when it comes to that. It appears that the change was only at the top levels, not everyone under that's working in there, that's rolling up their sleeves, working 24/7 inside the factory. So I commend Valerio for continuing to keep this iconic American brand alive. I have no doubt that he will find ways to elevate this brand to greater heights. I do believe it is time, perhaps, to replace a few things. I'll give you examples. I think we're long overdue for a replacement of the Audio Research Reference 10, a preamplifier that I've owned 3 times. Very, very incredible preamplifier. I think it's more than overdue. Like, we need to see like a Ref 11 or something like that. The Ref 6SC, I think it's fine where it needs to be. It's been a great performer. I don't think we need a replacement Ref 6SC. The 160Ms, I am glad they finally did an MK2. I do not know if the MK2 is a superior performer over this 160M that I unfortunately did not care for. I never liked the 160M, but I do not know about the MK2 version of this amplifier. The 750 SC monos, the big boy tube amplifiers that use like 30, 36 tubes on the top, those are supposed to be phenomenal performers. Unfortunately, the cost of ownership is quite high with that type of amplification, with so many tubes, and the heat that they dissipate is just incredible. I have always liked Audio Research. Have nothing bad to say about the brand. I love their preamplifiers. I think their preamplifiers are lovely. They work with just a just a lot of amplifiers out there. Their preamplifiers work with so many different amplifiers that you're going to have to try hard to dislike an Audio Research preamplifier. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're looking for the ultimate in focus and extreme resolution and neutrality, you're not going to find that with Audio Research because they're tube based. Tube gear has a certain sound. Okay, everyone knows this. So if you are a sucker for neutrality and nothing but the facts, I don't think that's the way to go. But that's not just Audio Research. I think any other tube manufacturer can tell you the same thing. Okay, but if you're looking to enhance the feeling of your music without it being very analytical, I'd say try a tube preamplifier from Audio Research. Overall, nothing bad to say about Audio Research as a brand. I really wish him the best of luck. Okay, you want to know the difference in sound signature between Boulder and Moon Simaudio amplifiers. Very different sound signatures. They could not be more different. Okay, let me explain. Boulder, if I go by the Boulder amplifiers, which I think they're overall character, they are about extreme detail, nuance, and resolution. Boulder shoots for nothing but the facts. Some people may call Boulder analytical. Some people may call Boulder dry. I see Boulder as a blank sheet of paper, and you have the responsibility of grabbing that pencil and draw. Whatever mistakes you make are your own mistakes and not a fault of the Boulder product. So you have to remember that when you own Boulder, for the most part, I think their more affordable products are a lot easier to deal with. But when you enter the 2000 series of electronics, 2100, 2160, everything else up the ladder from there, you have a lot more responsibility because you're purchasing a product that's more like a MRI machine. It will give you nothing but the facts. It will just extract everything that's in the music, and whatever trash you put behind it, it will just highlight your lack of efforts or your efforts. Okay. Simaudio is different in basically this way. They're not as analytical, meaning they're not as detailed as Boulder. Boulder, I call that analytical because Boulder's going to come to show you what you've done. So it analyzes in a way what you put behind it, right? It just passes everything through its circuitry, passes it as clean as possible, right? Simaudio will put a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of syrup on top, and will be very sweet sounding, good bass control. I adore the 860 version 2, by the way. Amplifier. I think Simaudio builds better amplifiers than preamplifiers. Boulder, I think, builds good, really good preamps and amps. I'd say they do a better job at both than Simaudio does. Simaudio, the triple eights, I've never heard. I heard great things about this triple eight amplification. Unfortunately, I've never owned it. I can't speak about it. But I overall think that Simaudio builds good products, good quality products, good reliable products, I should say. Sound signatures, they're just Boulder's just going to be a lot faster, more dynamic, a lot more about what it has to convey to you based on what you connected. Simaudio will just pass it through a silk blanket and kind of smooth it out some, and then put it out there for you to listen to, if that makes sense. That's the best explanation I can give you. Okay.